What's happening, PricePlow Nation? This is Mike Roberto, founder of PricePlow, and we are here with another NutraBio video. This time to talk about NutraBio IMMUNE. Now, I just recorded a video thanking Mark Glazer and the team at NutraBio and all the first responders out there who have access to this first response supplement that they are giving away. So it's not for sale, but I'm drinking it right now. It's awesome. And I briefly touched on that, but NutraBio is a company, a supplement company who's doing incredible things. Today's April 19th of 2020, kind of in the midst of this whole COVID crisis going on, and while it's not being felt as much out here in Texas, it is being felt big time in the tri-state area, especially in New York. NutraBio, being in Middlesex, New Jersey, is doing some incredible things, and they are giving these things away like left and right. I made a whole video about it thanking them, so that's where we're coming from right now. But if you wanted to have a supplement that had a full spectrum of high quality vitamins and minerals to help boost your immune system, I'm not going to make any claims here. We're going to talk about some stuff. I'm not going to make any claims, of course, because we are in like unforeseen, uncharted territory and everything, but a very well formulated full spectrum immunity supplement right here, NutraBio's IMMUNE. And this product actually is for sale. So on the PricePlow blog, we have all the research kind of laid out. We talk about all the different ingredients. I'm going to kind of get through that right now. Try to go kind of quickly. In my last video, and this is going to be one of the ingredients, so we won't cover it too in depth. EpiCor is an immunity supplement that NutraBio has here. This is in standalone form in this product. I kind of began that video by saying immune, and that's the story of the day. That continues to be the story of the day, but now we actually have the product called IMMUNE, which has a single serving daily dose of the EpiCor in here. So you don't need this if you have this. But on top of the EpiCor, so this EpiCor is this dried yeast fermentase, fermented yeast extract that actually does 4 different things. So let's kick off right now and talk about this supplement here. But with 500 milligrams of EpiCor, you have a lot of actual research showing an improved antioxidant status, improved IgA, so your mucous membrane can thicken up and be able to fight stuff from even getting into the body a little bit better. I have been taking EpiCor, and I haven't really noticed. I've noticed 2 things. I haven't noticed any extra like mucus or anything, but I have noticed that there's one thing, not even one of the 4 main bullet points. We've got a lot of oak trees back here. I've noticed a little bit less allergy problems over these last week or so with this stuff. So that's one of the benefits they have studied as well. But in terms of actual immunity, you have increased mucous membrane. Let's just say activation a little bit, so you can like just block things from getting in first off. But once they are in, this dried yeast fermentate also helps improve the natural killer status and boost the ability of your natural killer cells and makes more natural killer cells available so that if a pathogen does get in, it helps attack them. And so that's why this is such a fascinating ingredient. And then it also improves gut health as well, which is hugely important here. And I think this really, it might be a controversial statement, but a lot of this is actually a metabolic crisis. I think all health problems pretty much are a metabolic crisis. We're seeing that the most obese people are, who at least for the younger people, the obese ones are most at risk in this situation. And to be honest, in most situations, and that comes down to diet and everything. So improving gut health is always good as well, but it's going to come down to more than just taking a pill for that. We can talk about that later. So that's the first ingredient here. So if you have this product right here, you don't need to take a separate EpiCor, just 500 milligrams a day and you're done, and that's what we have here. So that's actually the second ingredient in the label. Now here we have a decent healthy dose of vitamin C, 500 milligrams, 560% daily value. People who megadose vitamin C, like what we have in the powder here, are going to be getting a lot higher. But in general, 100% is to avoid like deficiency. And then a lot of people believe that megadosing or going above and beyond is smart. And the studies showing like doses like this, that it may reduce the cold symptoms and like flu symptoms, like maybe half a day to a day or so. So it's not like a miracle thing, but it's silly to not take vitamin C. It's cheap and effective if you can find it, and that's what NutraBio's been doing, just pumping this stuff out left and right, because they have access. They got the manufacturing, and they have the manpower to do it. So thank you again to NutraBio. But anyway, vitamin C, huge antioxidant that helps you scavenge for free radicals. The last thing you want is to have all sorts of reactive oxygen species bouncing around and causing trouble while your immune system is trying to do work. So to me, it's a little bit more of an indirect thing instead of like, whereas with this EpiCor ingredient that we just talked about, that's almost like direct immune system boosting. So you're gonna get a lot of just support stuff here, and that's what we want. In general, there's, you know, obviously like keeping yourself away from the pathogen is the best way to avoid it. But in general, with a supplement like this, we're not making any claims. We're just trying to give you your body tools, and the tools that it needs to upregulate its immune system or keep its immune system from overreacting, which is what that EpiCor does with the allergy side of things, but also just having the ability to fight. And so you got to give it the tools, and that's what we're doing here. So after that, we have a 2,000 IU dose of vitamin D3, 250% daily value. I personally am a huge fan of vitamin D, especially when it's cloudy outside in the winter. 5,000 IU per day is what I take. So check your multivitamin. Some of them have more than others, but I really have a what's the opposite of soft spot in my heart? A soft spot in my heart. I have a very hard spot in my heart for anyone who says not to get sunshine. Vitamin D is so critical for health, and it is actually synthesized. It's not even a vitamin related, it's a hormone. And it's a hormone that's synthesized in your skin by sunlight. And you need sunlight to do this. And when you have low vitamin D, everything, like literally everything goes wrong. From metabolism to mood, like these depressive symptoms that happen, to immunity. And when looking at studies of people who get sick more often, a lot of times they're vitamin D deficient. Doesn't necessarily mean that getting a ton of vitamin D is gonna, you know, make you immediately not get sick, but there's a connection, and it's a huge connection between all sorts of problems, whether it's metabolic or immune or whatever, depressive, and vitamin D deficiency is the easiest thing to prevent. Step outside in the sun, or take a simple supplement. I like 5,000 IUs a day, but 2,000 IUs is really, I think, the safe bet. If you're getting serious about vitamin D, you take 2,000 IU. Now the next thing, before I get into the three minerals, zinc, selenium, and copper, the most important thing to me here that NutraBio is doing is that they're using the good stuff. They're using the chelated, the TRAACS from Albion, the TRAACS chelated forms of these minerals. Now the fact is that your body's terrible at absorbing straight up minerals. It's not just gonna say, oh, there's some zinc oxide and just pull it in. Like, it doesn't want to do that. Zinc. So for instance, like the cheaper minerals that you see, zinc oxide I just referenced, they don't get absorbed very well. But guess what does get absorbed very well by your small intestines? Amino acids and proteins. So what Albion here did is they actually bind these minerals to an amino acid known as glycine, which your body loves to absorb. And it kind of, and I say this in the blog all the time, it Trojan horses the minerals in. So that's why you have specialized forms of zinc. That's why not all zinc supplements are cheap, and some of them are expensive, because they have to go through all this kind of rigmarole to get it actually to absorb. But what's the point of taking in a cheap zinc if you're not gonna get any bioavailability out of it? So these chelated forms, in my opinion, are the best to go with. And they're using them, they're using 3 different forms in here, and they're gonna have different immunity benefits. But if you look at a lot of the supplements out there, especially before, like, this is why it's important that a company like NutraBio does get into this market. A lot of people are like, oh, and this is a whole other rant that we had a big comment on YouTube. We can save that for another day. But NutraBio, first off, they were planning on coming out with this for the 2021 flu season, or the late 2020 flu season. But obviously this got sped up. So this product was going to happen anyway, but it got kicked up the notch, obviously, a little bit earlier. But you want a company like NutraBio to come in because they know how to formulate. They don't just throw in cheap zinc oxide. If you see an immune system with zinc oxide, it's a joke. It's not going to get absorbed. You want something that's going to get pulled into your system, and that's these chelated forms of minerals. So zinc seems to help with T cell function a whole lot. And there's a study with zinc lozenges, maybe it was like 10 years ago, where they showed that the time of sickness was significantly reduced by supplementing additional zinc. And that's when zinc started getting put into a lot of these different lozenges and everything. But what I realized, though, is that zinc isn't going to get its job done unless you use a quality form of it. And that's where you can either megadose the cheap stuff, which might have other problems, or you just get the right dose, a high dose of the chelated forms here. And so zinc is going to help proliferate more T cells, and that's incredibly huge for your immune system. And it seems that deficiency is a huge problem. Zinc is also part of the stack that is being used by the best doctors who are actually curing patients faster of this coronavirus situation. So we're not going to get into the medicine here, make any claims, but zinc is definitely an important piece of that puzzle. Very smart to supplement. Eat your meat, folks, too. There's plenty of meat Plenty of zinc in meat. You got to eat a good bit of it. So then there's selenium, and selenium was shown to have some interesting effects on the original SARS virus that happened in 2005. I don't want to get into that too much, but in general, it's another immune boosting mineral that a lot of people don't get enough in their diet, and we see this all the time. Whether it's a like specialized low carb diet, sometimes they don't get enough of it, or just people just are eating too much processed food and not getting enough selenium. And selenium has a lot of immune system benefits with regards to T cell growth once again. So there's plenty of people who are just selenium deficient, and I think that's like a catastrophic state to be in. There could be heart problems that occur and everything. So make sure if you check your multivitamin, see if there's selenium in it. But once again, chelated form from the TRAACS form from Albion Minerals. And here we have 360% daily value, 200 micrograms, which is a pretty big dose. Small, but big dose. So after that, we have copper. Now we've been talking about white cells. Copper actually helps with the red blood cell side of things, and has its own, at least in vitro immunity effects. I'm not sure if there's any direct connection, but copper is another thing that we don't talk about a lot on this channel or on a lot of channels. 3 milligrams gets you a 330% recommended daily value. So we're like not mega dosing, but we're going above and beyond the doses of these minerals in this product. So after that, we have N-acetyl L-cysteine, and so this is the precursor. The cysteine helps your body form more glutathione, and this is the powerhouse antioxidant in your body. NAC is often marketed for respiratory function, and that is one of the many benefits. And once you have enough in your system, you're going to be able to fight oxidative stress in all sorts of capacities. Vitamin C, similarly, vitamin C, even in a post-workout state, it'll help you fight that oxidative stress. This will help you as well. So NAC is an underrated ingredient. Doesn't always smell that good. They made it taste good in this first response here, but it is also in there. But yeah, take a look at what glutathione can do. The thing is, it's one of these supplements, kind of like beta-alanine, for instance, makes you get more carnosine. You can't just supplement glutathione. It's not orally bioavailable. So you got to take the precursor, and then your body will convert it into the glutathione it needs. By the way, also very good for hangovers. Good liver detoxifier. And then after that, we have another ingredient that's really well known as an anti-inflammatory. Again, helps scavenge free radicals, and that's ginger extract. Makes a lot of people feel a lot better, especially if they're having gut problems and everything, and you can't eat enough food or whatever it may be. Ginger may help alleviate those symptoms. And the name of the game here is scavenging for free radicals, so that you don't have a chain reaction of reactive oxygen species causing all sorts of downstream damage. You need to stop it right where in its tracks, and the antioxidants make that happen. Ginger is one of those, and this is anti-inflammatory, because it seems to be that this is kind of an inflammation state type of disease kind of going around. Like there's a lot of things going on. I'll take any anti-inflammatory I can in that situation. But again, diet is going to be so important because this is very, very metabolically related. And then finally, one of the better enhancers and one of the better ways of enhancing this, improving blood flow, and another super powerful antioxidant is grapeseed extract. You got 100 milligrams here, standardized for 95% polyphenols, and that's going to help improve the status of everything else and possibly the uptake of everything else. But there's also some antibacterial, antiviral research showing up on grapeseed extracts. So take a look at that, and it's pretty unique addition compared to some of the others here. But to me, you have the minerals and the EpiCor are probably doing the heaviest lifting. Now, if you're going to add in one extra ingredient, to me, when you're starting to feel a little bit down, Echinacea, especially for the flu, can shorten the amount of time that we have the flu. Again, we can't make any claims regarding what's going on right now, but when I start to get sick, I pop the Echinacea and I keep it coming. And you could dose kind of aggressively, but I just take 2 of those per day. And so this is actually, you're gonna get a month's supply, and it's 3 capsules per day. You can kind of space it out if you want. Maybe just throw, whatever. Just make sure you get it in each day. And don't forget to take your nighttime ones if you are trying to split it out, like 2 caps here, 1 cap here. But in general, I think it's fine to just take 3 caps all at once, and they're going to be pretty good to go for the day. You probably want to take it with food. I'm not sure if they're saying, yeah, they say take it daily with a meal, and that's the way to go. So as always, NutraBio, third-party lab tested, doing incredible things out in the tri-state area and elsewhere with the first response. So thank you to the team. But if you saw the video on this and you're looking for something a little bit more in depth, or something that you need to actually, that you can buy, then it would be Immune by NutraBio. 3 capsules per day gets you a month's supply, and hopefully we get out of this thing together. Thank you so much for watching. Check out PricePlow.com/NutraBio. We do have a sponsored relationship. This stuff was obviously sent for free, and we do have a PricePlow coupon that you could try using, but just whatever. Do whatever you can to get whatever minerals you can to help your system. And remember that this is a metabolic situation, and so right now might not be a bad idea to stop eating all the processed crap and to possibly try to do whatever it is. I have opinions, of course, on how to do it, but on however you can to reduce your body fat, to reduce your fasting blood sugars, to reduce your insulin, and to reduce just the overall inflammation in your body. I know it's tough, but that's where this is going to go, is that this is a metabolic situation, and we're going to have to fight it with metabolic solutions, and that isn't always supplement or drug related. So that's me. My name is Mike Roberto, and I am the founder of PricePlow. Thanks again to NutraBio for sending these out, but thanks again even more for sending these out to those who matter. Take care.
Welcome to PricePlow.